Hello and welcome, fish keepers. It's been a while since I made one of these videos. Thought I would just give a quick tour. This is the predatory hap tank here. Honestly, not a whole lot has changed. I feel like most of these fish have peaked in size. Still getting a bit of growth here. This is the sand diver, and he's continuing to mature. He's the biggest fish in here now, and he's like showing pretty good color. Occasionally he's all like very iridescent, this light blue that you see like on the top of him basically turns that color completely. It's quite a light one, I think, but a lot of times you still see the vertical stripes through him. So either way, pretty cool looking fish. Dolphin's been peaked out for a while. OB Borley, Star Sapphire in the back, getting nicely checked. I will say this fish, the longer I keep him, he has taken a long time to get checked. I've had him like 2 years probably. The longer I have him, the more checked he gets. So I would say don't give up. This guy, Bucochromis spectabilis, he's been disappointing is the wrong word because he's such a beauty, but he's remained smaller than I thought he would. He's like very torpedo shaped, very slender. He's a cool fish, doesn't bother anyone. This guy, you know, he's not a fancy fish. I don't know his origins. I just traded for him. I think he might be mostly Fusco, is my guess. You can see a little bit of blue, but he's kind of peaked out in size as well, I think. Of course, the trout. Look at the fins on that guy. Such a unique body shape on these fish. He's super cool. Malawi hawk, getting nicely colored up on the head, just how I like it. When they turn completely blue, they look kind of similar to their fish sometimes. So, in my opinion, he's looking about as good as he can. So, I'm going to throw in a little bit of food now. These guys are hungry, but they don't like do a major frenzy. Single once a day feeding for this tank. This is the Malawi gar. He's one of my favorite fish too. Such a beauty. Great color. A lot of detail in that fish. Look at the color in his lips too. So cool. Cherry bicher. I think he keeps growing, honestly. Like, it's very slow at this point, but if you look up in every couple of months, he seems a little bit bigger. So this tank's been a lot of fun. They cause basically no problems. I haven't lost a fish in this tank in like 6 months probably at least. I think the ones that I have lost have just been random disease or unknown reasons. The only downside to this tank, as far as I'm concerned, is the buildup of nitrates. I have to do a water change on this tank about every 10 days to keep it below 40 ppm nitrogen or nitrate. One thing that is helping is I have all these plants growing now. These are growing in an immersed way, so obviously the leaves are above the water, and that means they can process a lot more nitrogen, which is fantastic. So I've custom built this thing here. It's full of, this is leca that's in it. It's like baked clay that kind of holds the roots intact. And the plants are just thriving off of, these are like I don't know, mildly powerful 36-inch LEDs. I think they're Huggers, some of the nicer ones. The plants are just loving it. And I have noticed it definitely does cut down on the nitrates. I really want to set up another one over here. The more plants, the better, as far as I can tell. And of course, got to get a few plants in the sump. This is pothos. Look at those roots. Just thriving. Another benefit to growing plants underneath is you actually have light if you need to like do a little maintenance down there, which is pretty nice. So these guys are all fat and sassy. Put them on a show for you. Hope everyone's enjoyed. Gonna wrap up the video. Until I see y'all next time, happy fish keeping.